everybody. We're going to go again. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. We have the amazing Lowell Rempel with us for ASINspector, and he is going to give us the down the low on the new Pro version and all of its amazing features, answer all of your questions. Lowell, if you want to go ahead, introduce yourself, you can take it away and join the screen.
Sure, sounds good. Well, thanks, guys. I'm not sure who knows me, who's watching this here, but looks like a couple familiar names. Yeah, so just a quick background on myself. We have a company in a number of different verticals, from the e-com space to development to we build all the sales funnels for Ryan Dice, digital marketers. So we're all over the place. We have 2 offices in the US, 1 in Canada, and yeah, so enough about me, but I'm really excited tonight just to show you guys everything that we've done and a couple of tricks and just hints on what's coming as well. So lots of things. I haven't used this the Zoom here before, so it looks pretty straightforward. It's like press button sort of thing. But thanks for having me on tonight, you guys, and looking forward to answering some questions that you guys have during it. If you want, I could just share my screen here right away and jump into it if that works for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Can you guys hear me okay? Everything's good?
Yeah, you're good. From as far as I can hear, you're good to go.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. All right. If you guys can see my screen, give me a yes. Let's see if we can. It's looking all right.
Yeah, we got it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Awesome. All right. So at the end of the day, a lot of us are obviously selling physical products, and it's such a hot thing right now. It's the whole e-com thing. It doesn't matter if you're on a certain platform like Amazon or doing a combined thing of a whole bunch of different platforms, but at the end of the day, there is just a ton of abundance, as you guys know, out there. But there's still a lot of things that can help you, some tools and intel that can help you make some really good decisions on things that you want to source or sell or not sell, right? So we have a team that's actually in the trenches. Just a little background on this, on how we even came up with this whole idea. But we were actually trying lots of competitive products, and one that we created ourselves, and it just wasn't doing it for us. We still needed a lot more intel for our guys, so we actually we spent over the last year, we created a software that we called it something else, but later was called the ASINspector, and it was just to give our team just a ton of data and intel. We were never going to sell that; we were just using it for our own use, but a couple larger scale guys got a hold of it, just seeing, they heard of it from our own team. They shared that, and they took a look at it, and they asked if we could, let them, some of their clients sort of just look at it, use it, roll it out to them, and it literally went viral. We couldn't slow it down, so we thought, well, let's roll out what we're using right now, because we've sort of had the Pro for quite a while, and just tons of intel and stuff. So anyways, let's jump into it. I'm just going to show you guys some cool stuff. We can search whatever, but I'm just going to, whatever comes to the top of my head. I don't know, you guys want me to search anything specific or what? Let's just do smart watch. You have something? We can search whatever. It doesn't matter.
Do you have an idea?
Todd?
Star Wars Episode 7, Darth Vader.
Awesome. Let's see how many sellers there are for that. So sure, no, we can do some Star Wars stuff after for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I just picked anything. I'm on Amazon.com right now, so obviously US based. But as soon as you search anything on any platform, doesn't matter if it's .ca in Canada or in the UK or in India. It doesn't matter. Whatever platform you have, it's going to pull data and do it in that currency, and in that you can have it set whether it's pound or kilogram or whatever. There's so many things that you can do right from it. But anyways, so I've pulled this smartwatch and I click on this little ASINspector Pro. Some of you guys probably already have the standard. Maybe some of you guys already have the Pro, and that'd be awesome, so you guys can see some of the stuff it's doing. But so it's automatically just quickly populating some data that's being pulled from that page. And I'm just going to give you guys a quick overview. So sorry if you guys already know some of this, but I'll just jump into it anyways just to show you a couple different things. So now you can set this up however you wish, however you want your screen. This bottom right here, you have the options tab where you can literally choose anything that you want to have populate on that page. And even right now, if we wanted to add something, or say we wanted to have the package dimension, or we wanted the weight in kilograms, as soon as we hit yes, it just automatically adds that to our columns. You don't have to like research it or anything like that. But next time you search something, it'll also do it the same way. So I sort of have this set up with just things that I look at. Everyone on our team actually does it a little bit differently, but I'm always fooling around with it. But one thing I do suggest you doing before we even jump into this is taking this option here and opening every single one of these things up. And I mentioned that the other day on just a video we had on our Facebook group. And I can't believe how many people have reached out and said, man, I should have done this a long time ago. There's a ton of stuff in there that I had no idea that you could do, right? So Intel is good, data is good, but overload of that can be not good. So we built lots of things that we can sort of digest this and dive into this a lot quicker. So anyways, what you'll notice at the right here is you'll see this Actions tab. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of things on here. So if we wanted to look at, for example, this particular watch, and we wanted to just quickly source that and find out, we could click on Alibaba, AliExpress. It'll automatically search those platforms. You can see if it's on eBay, Walmart, Target. We put a link in the Camel. You can also, if you're sourcing something like this, and this is something that you wanted to play with, you can right away, say we did source it on AliExpress. We can use some examples after. But let's just say that we found this for, I don't know, $9 or something. It'll automatically show you the ROI on what that is, how many sellers there is in that category of the exact same watch. And it'll also break that down as well for how many, just the different fee breakdown, just so you can see this. So we've had lots of examples. Even I'll just say one example where we thought we were just going to kill it on this product, because we do a lot of like pool supplies and stuff like that. That's sort of my background. I used to own a retail chain of stores, and we like something. It was a pool, just a skimmer net, and it was selling quite a bit. It was about 17 grand a month, whatever it was selling, and we found it for like 50 cents, and it was selling for like $15. So I'm like, man, this is great, right? But as soon as we put it in the calculator, we actually had a negative ROI, which didn't even make sense. But once we started diving into it, it's because it was sort of that particular product was over that magic size of where Amazon's calculated fees, and it didn't make sense. But what we did is we just found another net that was smaller in that size, and we actually found it for less money. And now we're selling that and doing really well. We sort of went up head to head with that particular person that was also selling it. So overall here, I mean, you can have whatever in here, but the category is also a big one as well. So you can see, what other categories or family or nodes or whatever that they're in. And if you ever want to expand this, you can, if you want to copy and paste whatever into your part of your listing, your sheets that you're doing for Amazon, that's a great way. Or if you're using this on other platforms, same sort of thing, just to think outside of the box and see where else someone else is beating you is listed on, right? So you can see the revenue per month if you even want to play in that space, and lots of factors there. But then there's some other really key things here that we've added onto the Pro. So one is the filters. So if you go down to the bottom right here, you see this little filters button, and all of a sudden you'll see all of these at the top here, all of these open up. Now this for us is something that was just integral, because there's a lot of things that we don't want to be in the most competitive space, but obviously we want enough volume that we want to play in that space as well, right? So whatever you put in here for a parameter, you can automatically, it'll just sort everything for you. So say you wanted it, more than $10,000, for example, boom, it just automatically sorts all of the products that are currently doing over $10,000 a month in this particular thing. But it dives more and more. So if you wanted to have, how many sellers there are currently of each one of these, like something like this, you can do less than, 10 sellers, or we have, our magic number is under 12 sellers that we want to have, depending on how competitive the product is. But we do quite well in competing in that way, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do as well. So you can put whatever parameter you want. So same thing, if we're doing, less than 10, it just automatically is sort of diving down to exactly what you need to see if you even want to play in this space, right? Now, some other things that's really cool too is you guys can still hear me fine? We're just making sure. Awesome. All right. So some other stuff that you can do, and this was hard to figure out, but you can actually get all of the product keywords that this particular person is going for, or that they're recognized for, on the Amazon, the T9 search engine. Okay, so so when it says most searched keywords, that's what that particular person is ranked for their keywords. So for their product story. So this is like super intel if you think about this, because some people they've already reached out and they're like, I'm not even going for that keyword, and it's like, yeah, you're right, but you're ranked for that keyword according to Amazon's eyes. And it was sort of like the aha moment where it's like, I see what I'm doing wrong on my listing, so they're making changes based on that, right? So this is huge. Like, this is the actual keywords that person is going for. But then if you go on the bottom here and you look at this little magnifying glass, this is related keywords. So if you go to here, it'll do, other just ideas of other keywords that you potentially could go for, right? So, and then it has the Google Trends there as well. So lots of ways to get keywords and stuff. This is a huge thing, as you guys can probably see. There's tools out there that I'm hearing as high as $98 a month. That's just getting you those keywords only. So lots of data there. And then so whatever parameters you have on the top here, you can also save those filter results. So if you're wanting to see certain specifics or whatever that your team has set up, if you want to set something up for your team, you can also automatically set up whatever those are. So you just one click and it automatically recovers sort of like that last filters that you had. So another couple cool things is that it's great to sell one product, but it's also really great to sell other products with that and the whole frequently purchased together. So when you're on some of these, you can click on this little button here, and it's anything that's frequently bought together, it'll open up another window. Just takes a second, and you can still put your parameters in there if you wish, but you can look at other things that are happening, right? So if there's wireless sunglasses, or this one here is, obviously they're jacking a product because you usually don't buy a watch with another watch, but you can see what other people are doing right away, right? So it's a great way to just to have some intel there as well. And then what we found too is that sometimes you can also double click on anything, it'll highlight a row. So if you have too many fields open, it'll just keep that open. And if you wanted to, and something just did not make sense, whatever you were searching for, all of a sudden, you're just like, why is a dog collar with smartwatch or whatever? You can just X that out as well. So you can remove that, it's gone forever. So if something didn't make sense just before you export it into, say, an Excel or a CSV file, you can export that all out. So it's just a really cool way of organizing your data, because it's all about data, right? It's all about intel. The more intel you have and the faster you can make a decision, it's going to help you out that much further, right? So you can also search on, just quickly, you can price things against like eBay or Walmart or Target. It'll come up right away. This particular product doesn't look like there is one, but we'll do some other examples here in a second, and you can see how fast that works. It's a great way just to do a price competitive. Now, a lot of people are asking that live in different countries, they're like, hey, that's great, but we don't really have as many Walmarts, or we don't have any Targets. So what do we do, right? So check this out. So if you went to Amazon in the UK and we did, let's just do, I don't know, guitars, Star Wars guitars. All right. So if we click on guitars, it'll automatically it'll show the British pound, right? So it calculates everything that way. Now, what's also cool is you'll see some other stores start popping up here that are only in the UK, right? So like Argos and Asta, so you can now search all of those as well at the same time, right? And I know I have both weights on here. We can remove those. I'm just showing you that, not everyone thinks in the imperial, metric system sort of thing, right? So imperial or metric. So anyways, just to quickly show you that. But here's some other cool stuff. So I don't know if I'm going too fast here, but I just wanted to sort of dive in because there's lots of stuff that we can cover. So now, if you wanted to have a certain amount of data, like right now, I have it set so there's 52 things that come up. But in your options here, if you want, you can set that, like I have 2 pages to load, but you can make that as many pages as you want. So if you wanted to be searching for, 30 pages of data, go to town, like just press on that and see what kind of competitors export it all. You can wash it lots of different ways and sort of go from there. So lots of different ways to do things. Or you could just hit this little plus sign and just adds like the next batch of products, right? So if we did that right now, it's just going to keep adding more to it. So in a couple seconds here, you'll see all sorts of more data, right? So now something else is really cool that a lot of people, including our guys, really wanted was they wanted the ability to be out in the market, wherever they are, if they're at like a Kmart or whatever, Costco, they want to be able to scan a UPC and they want to see some data on that right away from their smartphone. So they wanted to have a scanner option. So we built an app, a mobile app that actually talks to your ASINspector Pro. And that's what this little UPC code right there, if you just click on that, you can put in your master key to automatically puts all of the items that you scan, and it'll search all of those items all at once. So you can sort of see some data based on that as well. So if you're doing anything that way, it's just a fast way to bring it all into that way, into the Pro. Also, we're going to be we're adding more and more stuff to this all the time. We like to beta test things with our team quite a bit before we roll it out. But there is a lot of people have asked for tons more stores and whether it's wholesalers or whatever. There's lots that are being added. We're just making sure that they all work well and it's all talking specifically with APIs and stuff like that. So, and just really quick to cover the revenue side of things. A lot of people have asked, how do you guys come up with that? I mean, everyone sort of has their own little calculation. Well, you know what? Partly why we built this tool is because a lot of this estimated revenue was way off on the tools we had. Like we were having like mad variance, and we've had some too. Like as APIs change, we're constantly updating things all the time. But the cool thing about this is we're basing this based on real numbers. So we have over 7,000 products that we have full access to of what it really is selling per month in lots of different vertical categories. We tie that up against seasonality. It's taking reviews into account. It's taken a whole bunch of basically an algorithm that we built to try to get that as close as we can. And I know it can be off a little bit from time to time, or seasonality, or something like Prime Day or whatever. But overall, it's giving you a pretty good estimated revenue if you play in that space, right? So, all right. So here's some other cool stuff. So when I talk to a lot of people, they're like, "Yeah, no, that's great," but I still run into this wall. I cannot think of other products. I always check, same 8 things that are in my brain or whatever. So this is what we did. So we built this little thing down here, this little light bulb, and it's a brainstorm button. All right, so it's just gonna randomly find keywords, right, and then you can just find. And I don't even know what this is, but let's check it out, right? So, or you can just click on here to refresh, it'll find you another one, right? So now this gets pretty cool because as it's searching for this, you can dive into this and put whatever your parameters are that you want set, like a certain volume or a certain way of doing things, right? So it's really cool how it is. I'm just looking at this right now.
I think this is probably one of my favorite features I love this part Like, I think it's
Have you played with this? Yeah, you
I
probably.
think it's so cool. Like, the things that come up like are so random sometimes, but I mean, it can give just a ton of ideas that, you know, normally, I mean, I would have even thought of, but it's just a really cool feature. I was going to ask you.
It does. The reason why we wanted this, yeah, you're right. There's so many things here where our, because we run in a blocks too, right? So you're always, you know, how many spatulas and ton dishes and stuff can you look at, right? I mean, it's always sort of the same thing. But this here, it's opened up our eyes. Like, we found the weirdest things, from like lie detector machines to like just the most bizarre things that are selling a lot that sometimes only have like 2 sellers, and we know that we can play in that space, right? So this is just a great way. I mean, again, Amazon's a big machine, like a really big machine, as we all know. And if you can actually play in some of those spaces that you know not everyone is trying to be in, you can do really well that way. So and again, you can make whatever your parameters are. This one here, I don't even know what this is, but there you go. It's like a wallet kind of a thing here. But yeah, so you can just keep randomly finding those. It's pretty cool how you can do that. So some other things here, you can manage your favorites. So if you do want to just check your top 8 things or whatever that you have, or you want to just import a whole bunch of your products, you can. Now this is just a demo account here, but whatever you're looking at, so say it was like you can add this to favorites. So if you were in here and you're like, oh yeah, I like that, I want to look at that later, just add that to favorite. So you can put that in there. Or if you wanted to look at, you know, a generator or whatever that's pre-saved in here, it'll automatically start finding all of that data for you, right? So it's just a cool way of looking at and saving your favorite sort of thing. It's a cool way of doing it. So here's some other stuff. So on the bottom here, if you look, you can import a list of ASINs. So some of our customers have, you know, a lot of items. You know, they're selling from 5 to 3,000 items sort of thing or more on Amazon right now. So they wanted the ability they want to import a ton of their products right now, or just a ton of competitive analysis that they've done, and they want to see all the numbers and then wash them with all the parameters and all the you know, the filters, and just make really good decisions instantly. So you can choose a file this way, or you can just copy and paste. It'll analyze all of those ASINs instantly. So it's a cool way of doing that as well, right? So and this is on the standard here as well, if you don't already have it. But if you're blind like me, you can make it bigger or smaller just instantly. Just little stuff like that. But that's there. Now, something else that's really cool is that a lot of customers have been asking. This is a new thing that you guys are going to see in the next couple of days. We're just waiting for the Google Chrome store to approve it. But right now, a lot of people are buying these lots. So they're buying like truckloads or pallets of basically new products, that whether it's from Target or Costco or whatever, and they have these spreadsheets. They have a list of basically all sorts of data on there, including the UPC number. And they want to see if it's even worthwhile to play it. So we're going to make like a one-click import where you can put your spreadsheet in there. This is going to wash all of your data, and it's going to bring it back and show you what the profit will be on that spreadsheet. So it'll instantly tell you, instead of you going through hundreds of items that, you know, of like 2 pairs of shoes or something like that, well, it's going to wash it all, and it's going to show you how much profit you can make off of that one lot, or if maybe how much it would make sense to not buy it, right? So it's a really cool way that just a lot of people, again, we just want to cover a lot of different kinds of sellers that are out there. So we want to make sure that we're covering everyone off. So let me show you guys some other cool stuff. So let's just say that we are on, now if you go to any eBay platform, right? So now this gets pretty cool actually. You can fool around a lot with this, but let's just say, I don't know, RC helicopter. Let's play with this one. So you can search on eBay. Now hit your ASINspector Pro. You're on eBay right now. Click this, and it's going to start going through and finding all of those items. And then it just takes a second to go through this. Well, not a second. It's going to take a couple seconds. But once that's done, it's going to show you all of this data. I'll do another one at the same time. Let's just go over here. You guys can see all my tabs here. Let's just go to Walmart. Let's go to Walmart.com. Same thing. Let's just search for something here. Let's go for, I don't know, lawnmower. How's that? It's not really lawnmower season, but let's see if they have something on there. So same thing. Let's hit the Pro, and let's check in on these and see how we're coming. So, right. So here's this helicopter one. It's starting to populate some stuff here right now, and as it's doing that, you can instantly. So if you take like this one here, right? So we've got this yellow. I'm not going to go to that fast, but let's just try this right now. Let's go to Alibaba. So from there, we can go to Alibaba and let's see if we can find that, right? So that's cool. That worked out well. So, but you can sort of get an idea that these are selling for around $11, right? So we know right now that their price new is $16.88, and the FBA fees. I can tell you right now, this probably doesn't make sense for us to plan, right? But it would be. It just shows you how fast you can source these products. So if you wanted to go into, the calculator and let's just say it was $11.50, right? We can see that, that doesn't make sense. And look at, there's 70 to 80 sellers. Like there's a lot of sellers in there. If you want to know exactly, there's 71 sellers. So that'd be pretty competitive for something that's only doing that much revenue a month to have that many sellers. So I'm just showing you how fast you can make decisions on this, right? Walmart here. Let's see what it found. So we got lawnmowers. I know it's bigger than most people would be selling, but it just shows you how fast you can do it right from Walmart, right? So maybe those are bad examples. It's probably more. Maybe we should be doing snowblower or something instead here, but but anyways, it just shows you how fast you can dive into and start. It's intel. It's all about intel, like how fast you can get that data and how fast you can make decisions and start sourcing products. And I know everyone's different things. Sometimes it's just they're trying to get small items under a certain dollar value. We're all over the place. We're finding our biggest stuff that we're selling is actually like revenue-wise and dollar-wise is sort of the $35 to $60. So that's one of our parameters is that we want to be in that price range, right? So, and then we dive into this in a big way, and we can source a lot of products really quickly, or make decisions to not buy something, right? So, all right, you want me to go through some questions here? Go through some stuff.
Yeah, I think that might be good. We should catch up on a couple of questions. Todd, do you want to?
Yeah, I've been logging all of them, so I can some of them I can combine, but the first one's kind of general. Lowell, what do you consider the primary purpose of the software? What do people typically use it for?
The primary is gaining intel on competitors and for sourcing products. So just to expand that a little bit more, if I was to ask, and we do, a lot of people, always come up with the same thing, is that they have a tough time sourcing products. Like for whatever reason, that's a massive wall for people. And the second thing is traffic. So we actually do a ton of paid traffic. Our company has for a long time. So the sourceability, I mean, we can teach people within a very short time, and they can actually source all of our product. We just basically tell them the niches that we want stuff, and our staff can find a ton of data real quick. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, and this seems like one of the few tools out there really that is good for retail arbitrage, wholesale, private label. No matter what you're into, there's a use case for this.
Exactly.
Okay. The second I'll combine two. It was, what's the difference between pro version and regular, and what's the price to upgrade? And I know you probably have a little bit of bad news for the upgrade price, because the deal just ended.
That's a big question. There is a lot of stuff. Most of the things that I've shown today, like the filters, the scanner, the favorites, the brainstorm, the ability to import ASINs, the keyword tools, all of that. This is just some of the stuff. The reverse targeting, or sort of reverse search in like eBay or Walmart, and a whole bunch more in a very short time. All of that is all pro and not on the standard version. So we built the pro. A lot of people are looking for something just that much more advanced. So we sort of dove into it a lot more. And we wanted the ability to keep up on things, because there's nothing better than buying a tool or getting something that, you log in a couple months later and it doesn't work properly, or it doesn't even work. Like, you can't even log in. Like, this happened to us a couple of weeks ago, something that we bought. You log in, it's not even there anymore, right? I mean, it was ridiculous, but that's not what we wanted. I mean, the problem with all these APIs and stuff that we're talking to is it needs constant updating all the time. Like, we have a team that's constantly working on all this stuff. So whenever there's a hiccup, and things happen all the time. There was another API change just on Monday, on our first day of our launch. But you know what? We fixed it, and we fixed it fast. So things like that happen, and we, with the Pro, we thought we'd do something really cool for this week. And I'm sure some of you guys have already heard about it. But we have built a full tracking system. So the ASINspector, the ASIN tracking is what it's called, but it will be rolled out as a separate product. But here's what's really cool is we're actually including it with our Pro. So that's a big part. So that means anything that you're looking, whether it's a competitor's, a ranking or a keyword or a certain, position or dollar that they hit, or inventory of their product, or whatever that is, it's going to alert you and keep track of any of that, including your own products as well. So people that have a lot of products, they want to be knowing, what position they are for a certain keyword or whatever. That's what our tracker does. So it's pretty cool. Now we're going to be rolling that out starting at $39 a month, but you know what? You get it for free. So it's all part of the Pro, and we've seen it as high as $150 so per month. So we know we have something pretty cool here, and that's also just a bonus of what we're doing this week. So that's pretty exciting as well.
And Lowell, just to reiterate, that tracker is only available with the Pro for like a limited time, right? They'd have to subscribe by
That's correct.
Like the end of this week, is that right?
By this coming Monday. Yeah.
By this Monday. Okay. Yeah, to have the tracker included.
That's right. That's okay. Right. So it's and it's pretty, I mean, honestly, we could just talk about this tracker. I won't do that to you. You guys probably don't want to hear me too much, but it's awesome. Like, that alone is just a killer product. Like, seriously, you guys are gonna love it. So, it's gonna all talk to your ASINspector Pro as well. So it's a pretty slick deal of what comes with it. So.
Okay. And what's the price to upgrade or to purchase the ASINspector Pro?
All right. So right now we have the price for $97. Okay, that's the ASINspector Pro. It's like instant download. It's going to work instantly, and then you're going to get the tracker within the next couple of weeks. We're going to wait till the launch is over, and then we're going to roll that out to everybody. So that's, and then and the app is immediate as well. You can download that as well, and then. Because we're constantly going to be updating it and stuff like that, the next year it's gonna be, there is a licensing fee. It works up to $8 a month. It's another $97 for another year. So you don't have to renew that, but most will, because it's when you see what's even more stuff is coming. We're just trying to put everything into one tool. We don't want to have tools in her. So.
And do you still have the deal where you get a second license for free when you purchase it, or was that expired?
We don't have that, but we do have the option that you can. There is an upsell for teams that are larger and want to have a multi-license. We do have a very special deal that you can have multiple licenses and not have the renewal fee.
Okay,
so that's the cool thing.
Okay.
So how will it work if somebody like Kate already has? And I'm sure you had this in your questions, Ted. So sorry that I've.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Just asked again. So since we're on pricing. If somebody already has it, if someone already has it to upgrade, or, how does that come out? They want to upgrade.
Same thing for that. So if they have the ASINspector standard right now and they want to be going to the Pro, it's still $97, but you'll have both. So you could give the standard to one of your staff members or whatever. It's still a pretty amazing tool. The standard, and it's not that was sold with lifetime updates, the standard. So we're going to continue doing stuff with that as well. Just this one here, we needed like way more server space and the ability to have the tracker and the app and all the other things that are coming down the tube. We had to keep this as a separate product. So
it's probably deceiving to call it an upgrade. It's really just a parallel product. I mean, you get to keep both products. You have both icons installed in Chrome.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. One of the other questions is, does this calculate inbound shipping in the profit calculation?
We are doing a shipping calculation that's coming out right now. It's hard because so many people have so many different variations of shipping. So what we're going to do is we're going to have like an automatic estimation of inbound shipping, and then you can override that. So if you know that your shipping is going to be X, you can put that into the tool, and it's going to populate that for you. So same thing, because that's part of your cost, right? You want to make sure that you're profitable after your shipping, after everything, right? At the end of the day, we're all trying to make money, so it's got to make sense.
Okay. And a couple of the questions you covered in your presentation, but just so everybody make sure they get their answer. Additional places, Walmart, eBay, and Target are already included, and if you switch to a different platform, it covers stores in that country, at least in UK.
That's right. That's right.
And the links to other stores' websites. Someone asked what the idea behind that is, and that is either to see if that product's available there, to do some arbitrage, or you can find price points for competition.
Exactly. Yeah. So many people were doing arbitrage. So if you were looking at, I mean, we know this from Walmart because we just brought this from Walmart, but if we wanted to see if this was at, say, Target, you can search it right there on Target or on eBay or whatever, just to see not only price, but maybe you want some listing information for your, or what, I mean, so many different ways of doing it, but it just gives you that much more intel to make a good decision and make it quicker. So,
okay. And then two other questions, and then the rest are just kind of demonstration questions. The question was, does this work with a person's approved categories? And I think the answer is no to that. Like, it won't show you if you're approved to sell that category or brand.
No, it won't show that because obviously we all have different options in our Seller Central accounts. Right. But
yep, I just want to make sure. And then for the import of the ASINs, does it show the profit based on the cost field in the spreadsheet, or do you enter that manually or calculate it?
For the importing the ASIN numbers?
Yeah, like if you paste in some list of ASINs, how does it? You mentioned for like sourcing liquidation, can you add a cost field, or do you just see what the profit would be assuming zero cost?
Well, there's so two different things just to answer that. So you can just, if you just have a list of ASIN numbers, however you've come up with them, or it's your own or whatever, you can just import those all at once on here, right? So you can either have a file or just copy and paste that, and it'll just populate those ones only on the ASINspector Pro. But the other thing I'm talking about, the other option that you're going to see on here, this is really cool, is because if you're buying any kind of bulk product and buy-offs or overstock or whatever, all you need is their spreadsheet that has the UPC number on there. That's all you need. It doesn't matter how many categories there are on that spreadsheet. It doesn't matter. You import that. It's going to take that, and it's actually going to it's going to wash all those numbers. It's going to show you how much those items right now are selling for on Amazon. But then it's also going to calculate what your cost is and what it's selling for on Amazon to show you what your profit will be. Right?
So it will pull in the cost column then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's really slick how it works. It's like literally I can have a sheet that has whatever 80 products on it, and it cost me $1,000. That's what the lot would be. But then when I put that in there, it's gonna wash all of those products. It's gonna calculate how much my profit margin will be based on how it's selling right now, what my cost is, and then it'll show me what that whole spreadsheet would be worth if I sold it all. Right? So you can see that if it was like $3,700 at total sales, and it'll say I'll have $2,700 in profit. Okay. From that. Right, so it's pretty cool how it works. Actually, it's pretty. Yeah,
that's good. We've actually looked at a few tools during these webinars that were fairly expensive, separate tools to do that. So if that's included, that's pretty fantastic. One other question. Let's see. Well, there's a couple on the price. One person asked, the website shows $67. What is $97? The ASINspector base is still $67. The Pro is $97. So, Marianne, there's two different versions. So one's $67, one's $97. There's a question about licensing or use. Can I use it only on one computer, or can I use it on my second computer if the first one crashes?
You can absolutely use it on as many computers as you want, but it has to be you. So what happens is the license talks to Facebook real quick just to make sure that it's you. So, I mean, you guys can think bigger if you want, but that Facebook account that you register it with, you'll need that login to your Facebook account to register that. So you can be on, I have it on multiple computers, but it's just registered to my Facebook account. So.
Okay. And then the other two were really just product demo questions. One asked if you could review the Brainstorm feature one more time, and the other one asked for just a rundown on what Tracker does for you one more time.
Uh-oh, you're going to get him started on Tracker. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. You guys have another hour?
The Tracker question was from Lowell, which was kind of weird, but anyway.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey guys, I just want to talk about it. I can't help myself. Please tell me about the Tracker. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this Brainstorm feature. So, anytime that you find anything on here, it's just going to randomly find keywords. So if you looked at this real quick and you're like, yeah, I don't want to do the wallet thing, or you tried that, whatever, you might, I don't know, but you could just click this refresh. It'll just keep finding random keywords. So here we go. This is something I'm clearly not in. It's this comfort knitting and crochet. I have an idea what that is. Obviously something for knitting and crochet, but let's find out. So here we go. This, I can tell you, that is something that, well, there you go. Like, who would have thought, right? There's look at the revenue on some of these things, selling crochet hooks or something. There we go. Crochet kits, right? So it just shows you just a brand new thing that you'd have no idea. I'm clearly not in that, but same thing. If we want to put some of these, whatever our parameters are, right? So let's just say it's more than $8,000, right? Here we go. We're already sort of playing, or it has to have less than 8 sellers. Here we go. Like, there's only one seller of these. This would not be this hard to outdo these guys at all, provided we can get our costs cheap enough, right? So, so this is something I can tell you right now. This is worth looking into. This was just a random keyword. Okay, so it just shows you how fast you can start looking into stuff, right? So it's a cool feature, I think, because we all get those mind blocks, right? So.
Or you focus on just selling one sort of product. Like, I know I've done it. I'm sure tons of people can be like, they get so focused on one type of product or one category, whatever it may be. And this just kind of gets you out of that like block, or, it just gets you thinking out of the box. Something that you might never have thought. And then you're like, holy crap, this is huge, and then you just go on a whole new rant, start researching. And I mean, it just opens such a cool.
We are going to add something into, just so you know. So because some people are just in one niche, they're in like the pet niche or whatever. We're going to have the option here where you can select whatever your niche is. The only problem we're having with that right now is that Amazon's so big. There's just so many. We don't want you to have to scroll down for half an hour to try to find your niche sort of thing, right? But we are going to have that option where it'll find random keywords in that particular niche. But yeah, just it's a great way to just look for random things, right? So, all right, Tracker. You guys ready for the Tracker?
Are you ready?
I won't go too long in the Tracker. All right, so here's the thing: is that when you're looking at competitive analysis, it takes a long time. Even though it's fun doing it, it's not fun doing it when you have 100 products or 50 or even 15. It takes a long time to constantly be seeing what's happening with your competitors, who's new, who's growing, who's positioning wise. So we've actually used a ton of tools. We actually bought every single one that was out there, and we wanted to find, the things that we needed. And not one had all of the stuff that we wanted to include. So we built it to do everything that we would need as a team. And we're really in the trenches. So whatever you want to be alerted for or track. So if you wanted to track, say you were in the crochet hook thing here, and you wanted to see if if someone was gaining on you positionally wise, or somebody was, ranking for keywords that you weren't, or they hit a revenue mark, or they beat you, or they are running out of inventory, whatever that is, whatever those things that you want to set, it will alert you with anything that you want to know. So it's pretty slick how it works. It's actually really neat how it works. So it's just like a way better way to get that much more intel and to be alerted all the time, even of your own products. So if you're slipping positioning and stuff like that, you don't have to worry about it, because it's going to alert you. It's going to let you know. You don't have to be like watching everything and wasting a lot of time looking at all that data all the time, right? Instead of magically coming in and seeing somebody that's like completely at your heels, but you should have known about that person for a long time, right? And maybe you need to adjust some things and get your sales velocity or certain kind of numbers that you have to hit every month to beat that person, right? So, and that's what's cool too here with this estimated sales per month. You could just divide that by 30 and you'll know how many more per day you need to hit to beat this person, right? It's not all about reviews and stuff like that. So even though that's part of it. So there's a lot of cool intel that it's going to tell you. So the tracker is like a full-blown product. We just wanted to give you guys the first option to have it, right? So it won't be monthly. It's included with the Pro. So you get it. You don't have to and when you log in, it talks to, you can have multiple staff members log in. Eventually it's gonna alert your mobile app. Like there's some really cool things coming down with it. So, and I should mention, there is no ASINspector Pro 2.0 or 5.0. This is it. This is like anything that's added. There's a licensing fee, so it's gonna constantly just update. So if there's certain things that, like, some of our customers have some really cool ideas. I mean, you guys are in the trenches too. So if there's something that you're like, wow, I really, really wish that it had this, right? Well, you know what? Reach out and ask, because if we can build it, we'll put it in there for you, right? So we're just going to keep making it better and better from the people that are actually using it, right? So that's what our whole thing is. And just looking at this thing, just something else there is a private Facebook group, which is pretty cool. We're pretty careful on who we let in there. You do have to be licensed to come in, sort of thing. And then on the bottom right here, you'll see where it says updated. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it automatically updates for you. So you don't have to, re-download it or you don't have to do anything. If it says not updated, that means that there's something wrong. You have a firewall blocking it or whatever. You can click on it and it'll automatically push the update for you. So that's pretty cool. There's just lots of things we could keep talking about, but it's that's the tracker. There's my 10-second tracker pitch. How's that?
I am impressed. I was like, well, good thing we got all night. No.
Exactly. What do you guys do for the next couple hours? Let's go. Yeah. It's awesome. It's really cool, actually. So that's worth it alone right there. It really is. When you see it, you'll be like, wow. If you have some sort of tracking that you're paying for right now, or even like keyword arbitrage or whatever, you don't need it anymore. It's all in one tool, right? So.
Awesome. Pat, how are we on questions? Did we have any more, or were they just?
I think we got most of them. I've answered a few private questions, just, walking through the pricing model again, but I don't see any other questions.
Okay.
Training videos.
Training videos. That's good.
Training videos.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So after you get the Pro or even the standard, there is the option to we do have for this week. We have basically it's $97 and we have 8 weeks of training. And it's not just me, so you don't have to listen to my voice. I will be doing one of them. But we have guys like Chris Record on there, Neil Twa, Ryan Coisen, Mike Collins. Like there's some big names. And just for you guys, no one else will know. We're actually not doing 8 weeks. We're doing 10 weeks. You're getting a bonus 2 as well. So we're including that. We're not including that. We're including the extra 2 for $97. It's seriously, the one of the trainings will be worth that. You guys will be mighty impressed. If you miss them, they're going to be live. They will be replayed. You have access to them. You can give access to your team. So that is an option because a lot of people they want more. They want to understand way more in depth. They want to get pretty granular with things. So that's what we'll do. And I purposely picked random people because there's lots of different ways of doing stuff, right? And doing some of these already, I can tell you that there's some pretty cool things that other people do that I haven't even thought about. I'm like, man, that's a great idea, right? So everyone has a different way of doing stuff, just like all of you guys. I mean, everyone, even in this group, have different ways of doing stuff. So this is a great way to see some expert guys, some 7- or 8-figure earners, one 9-figure that's going to be coming and teaching a bunch of stuff with using Spectre Pro. So.
And I know, just to reiterate again, that there's not going to be like another version. So they're gonna, once you purchase the Pro, I mean, there's going to be upgrades, and that's all included. They're just going to upgrade it and make it better and so forth. So it's not like you buy this and then next year have to buy like the Pro.
Yeah, the 2.0 is coming out. There won't be. And we had this plan before, so people asked why have the standard? Why didn't you make the standard this way? It's good. Well, one answer is that it's a full team that made this happen, and we need like mad server space, and it's going to be a never-ending thing. It won't just work forever and it'll arrive. We want it to keep working. So when you log in, 3 days from now, 3 weeks, 3 months, whatever, it's going to work. It's going to work exactly how it's supposed to right now. So.
Okay.
I think I don't know, Todd, do you want to, is everybody clear on the price? There seems to be like a lot of questions on how the price works, but.
It's $97 per year for the Pro version. And
that's with the tracker. If
yes,
you sign up by Monday.
Yes.
And that's with the app as well.
And the app. So that's all included.
Yeah.
And
all
then
included.
The $8 per month. Do you guys want to clarify?
It works.
$8.
Yeah, it works out to $8 a month. So if you pay $97 today, there is no fee until next year, which it would be another $97 for the next 12 months, right?
Yep.
Right.
That's including your tracker. Yeah, that's everything. So.
Okay.
So just not the big urgency thing here, but this is our launch week. So like this Monday night, if you do log in, you can still buy it through, Shawn and Valerie and everybody. But I mean, it's going to, it will go up to $149. If you log in, it will be $149, and the tracker will not be there anymore. So just to let you guys know that.
Right. We had another question come up from Garen and Diana. Todd, do you want to take that one from Garen? Because I think I might.
Yeah. Hey, Lowell, are you familiar with OA X-ray?
I am, yeah.
Okay. The question was essentially, how does it compare? I mean, are you looking to add some of the OA X-ray features in, or is that a different segment, or?
Yeah, we are, like, for the tracker, it will have a lot of that. I'm just so you guys know, I don't want to beat up any other, there's some awesome competitors out there as well. We sort of keep each other, I think, on each other's toes, which is good. But we wanted to encompass all of those products into one. That was our goal with it. So there'll be more and more updates with those as well, because most people will be paying a monthly fee for that. So we're going to have to make sure that people are. So it's not like you get like a reduced version; you get the full blown version. So.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. Anything else? I have yes. Marianne, we do have some promos that we're going to do, so I'll make sure to address that just as soon as Lowell and Todd are finished. 30-day money-back guarantee, somebody just added in. So
yeah, absolutely. If it's not for you, just ask for your money back, no problem.
Yep. Perfect. All right. Todd, do you have anything to ask? Or Shawn or Lowell, do you have anything to add, or are we caught up on that end?
The only question I was going to ask is more from just on the back end. Since this doesn't use our individual credentials, like if we're uploading a large spreadsheet of, UPC codes or doing massive searches. Are there any concerns about, hitting an API limit or anything, or?
We've made it so basically you can upload about 1,000 at a time.
Okay.
We did do this. We made it larger at first, but it was taking a while. We didn't want to slow down the system. We just wanted to make sure that it was working fine. So we're going to try to keep that to 1,000. We did some tests of the day of over 1,500. It was still working fine, but if you could try to keep it around 1,000 for your sake, I just wanted to work fast for you guys. So
okay.
The app, is that only for Android, or is that going to be for iOS as well?
It's iOS as well. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's a cool scanner. You take a picture, and then it automatically finds that UPC with it, but it doesn't store it to your pictures. It's pretty slick how it works.
And it uploads it right into your ASINspector on your when you get back, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all web-based, and then you come back, you just click on that little UPC down here, and it recovers all those items, and you can automatically find them. So.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome.
Now, if you scan something and it doesn't, and it's not on Amazon, it won't save that. Just so you know, it'll just say item not found. It's not. Yeah. So if it's for example, if you went to Costco and there's 2 UPCs usually on a Costco item. One is like the Costco UPC, and the other one is just their UPC. If you do the Costco one, it probably won't find it because, except for the Costco items that are on Amazon.
We've had a couple questions. I know this is a software vendor's worst nightmare question, but the question was, is it $97 per year for life, or will that ever go up?
It's well, right now we wanted to keep it affordable, so our goal was to keep it at that for as long as we can. Yeah.
Okay, so the goal is. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, for the people that don't have, maybe they don't need all the options of the Pro, or they already have the standard and they're totally happy with that. That is lifetime, so that's $67. It continues. There is no other fees for that. So
okay, so I guess it's safe to say that you don't have any plans to triple the price next year and do a money grab. You're trying to keep the costs in line so that you anticipate price.
No, it's that's a good point actually. Yeah, no, we're not Microsoft. We don't get you locked in and then start changing stuff. So
okay.
Yeah. No, it's just we try to keep it as reasonable as possible, just to make it so we could continue, and everyone's seeing more and more improvements all the time. So.
And then another question was, is this more for experienced sellers than newbies? And I've had a couple of other private messages, and I think I'll have to run this past Shawn, but I think it may help for us in the future. We can do like a webinar doing some basic use cases, like kind of showing how you would use this for RA, showing how you use it for wholesale, just so it's, so people can see some real life examples and it make more sense to them, I think. Because it's a lot of information if you're not used to seeing that all at once. And I think it's kind of intimidating to see.
No, that's a good question. I guess this is how I would answer that question: is that all of us at one time were newbies, right? We all had to open up our first Amazon account, and there's certain reasons why people excel over others, right? And you know this from your own. But a lot of that is they've either had more time, or they've had more training, or they have more intel, or all three of those, right? So that's probably. We have brand new staff that come in, and we're training them on things. They don't know anything about Amazon or the e-commerce physical products, but when we teach them this, they can source and find things really quickly. So it's with very minimal training, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's kind of a mindset shift if you were trained or kind of used to just going out and scanning in stores. If you're just doing that model, it's kind of a different line of thinking to go to sourcing this way. So I think that may be, throwing some people off.
Well, we do a lot of, here's a good point too, is that I just actually did another webinar earlier, and I got sort of off on a tangent about of how we source products and how we direct ship right from China. So a lot of people know that we do that, And it's a lot easier than you think. So if it's something that you want to play in, you can actually find these items through AliExpress, even though it says like 90-day delivery and all that kind of stuff. You can, if you know that you have the volume on here, just to try and see if you want to play in this, you can ask for direct shipping from that vendor. It's not that hard. They'll do it. They're business people too. They want to sell their products, right? And it's a great way to get selling stuff. So you don't have to like pre-buy like 3,000 of them and hope to God that it works. You can start doing it right away with a small amount just to see if you want to play in it, right? So it's a lot easier than you think to source, I think. Maybe not the way some of it's trained, but I truly think it's pretty easy because I'm not like an expert at sourcing, but we've done a lot of sourcing. So.
Yeah. And I have both the Inspector and the Pro version. And one of the things I use is if I find, say Walmart's, I scan the Dove bar in Walmart and there's money in it. I think, they carry a lot of Dove stuff. Where else is there money? So I'll come home and just search for Dove. And then it helps me quickly narrow down the top sellers, the top revenue items, the ones that target, and then I can just work backwards across the product line. So that's one that, there's a bunch of different scenarios you could use it for. I think it's just a lot of information, so you got to figure out how you can best utilize it. What's your private Facebook group? We've had a couple of questions about that. What's the name of it?
If you go on the tool here, it's called your AMS Laboratory.
Okay.
And just click on this; it'll automatically take you to that group. So.
Okay. And one other couple questions actually about sourcing shoes. Does it show like the shoes and clothing ranks, that type of thing as well?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
The only thing it will not show is something that doesn't have an ASIN number. So books, for example, don't have an ASIN number. So if it doesn't provide the data, we can't really pull the data.
Yeah, I know some variations on clothing doesn't return an ASIN always, so that may be another issue. That is about all I see for the questions in there. Did you see more, Valerie, came through that I missed?
No, I think we covered everything. And if you guys, if something does come up afterwards and you have another question, come now and the time you buy it, then reach out to one of us. We're happy, Todd, me, Shawn, one of us can get in touch with Lowell and if we need to get him directly. So reach out to us and we're happy to help or address whatever we can. So if that is it, I also want to let everybody know. So since Lowell was so awesome enough to do this for us, and we are going to do something special for you guys. Shawn has been posting that link to go ahead and purchase the product through. So if you go